You just got paid $2,600. In 4 days, you have $12 left. That is not a hypothetical. That is Marcus, 26 years old, warehouse worker. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how that happens to millions of people who are not reckless, not lazy, and not bad with money. They are just missing one thing. Marcus works 50 hours a week lifting boxes in a warehouse outside the city. His paycheck of $2,600 sounds like enough to live on. It is not nothing. But by the time rent, a car payment, and groceries come out, what is left disappears fast. He skips lunch some days. He walks 2 miles to work instead of driving to save on gas. This is not a story about poverty. This is a story about a paycheck that vanishes before it has a chance to work for him. Here is what most people miss. The money does not disappear on rent or bills. It disappears on the weekend right after payday. Drinks with co-workers. A new pair of shoes to keep up with friends. Dinner out because everyone else is going. None of these purchases feel dangerous in the moment. $10 here, $30 there, but add it up, and that is the difference between having options and having nothing. But that is only part of the story. One afternoon, Marcus watches a family get evicted from the apartment 2 doors down. Boxes on the sidewalk, a mother trying to calm her kids while movers carry out a couch, and it hits him. That family was not making less money than him. They just never had a plan for the money they had. That is the moment the video pivots, because the problem was never the size of the paycheck. The problem was the absence of a system. Here is where things get interesting. Marcus starts going to the library after shifts. He is not reading anything complicated. Basic budgeting books. He starts something almost old-fashioned, the envelope system, cash divided into categories for rent, food, transportation, and savings. When an envelope is empty, spending in that category stops. No exceptions, no excuses. It sounds simple because it is simple. That is exactly why it works, and this is what most people are missing. Marcus does not just track dollars, he changes what a dollar means to him. He starts measuring purchases in hours of labor instead of price tags. A $15 takeout order is not $15. At his hourly rate, it is almost 2 hours of standing on a warehouse floor. Once you start seeing money that way, spending gets a lot more uncomfortable, and that discomfort is the whole point. This is the turning point. It is not one big paycheck or a lucky break that changes Marcus's life. It is the same small decisions repeated for years. He keeps saving even when a $200 car repair wipes out a month of progress. He keeps saving after a blown bicycle tire forces an unexpected cost he did not plan for. He starts a small side project on weekends, nothing glamorous, just extra income stacked on top of the habit he already built. So what does this actually mean for your money? If you are living paycheck to paycheck right now, the lesson is not that you need to earn more before you can start. Marcus never got a big raise. What changed is that every dollar had a job before it hit his account. People who build wealth on modest incomes are not the ones who found a shortcut. They are the ones who stopped letting their money make decisions for them on autopilot. Here is what you can actually do this week. Track every dollar you spend for 7 days. No exceptions, even the small stuff. Give every future paycheck a job before you spend a cent of it. And start asking one question before every non-essential purchase: how many hours of my life is this actually costing me? Do not expect overnight results. This is not a get-rich strategy. It is a get-in-control strategy, and control is what makes everything else possible. Drop the city you are watching this from in the comments. I want to see how far this reaches. So back to that $12 Marcus had left after payday all those years ago. Today, that same discipline has turned into property, savings, and a version of peace of mind that no single paycheck could ever buy. The biggest question is not whether you make enough money right now. It is whether the money you already have is working for you or just passing through your hands. If this hit different, subscribe, because next week's story might be closer to your situation than you think.